Yo, what's up, Move Mountains family? It is Sunday, June the 12th, 2020. Like and share this broadcast as we continue to move mountains and break those barriers.
Since the beginning, they counting this out. Just check the history, know that the system can't stop us. The paper they count came from the blood, sweat, and tears of our people. The pivot, scream greatness and shout. Hate our existence, but really, yet truly, we hold all the power, no route. Brace yourselves when we amount, cause we limitless. DNA royal, not menaces, know that we limitless. Brothers and sisters in arms, so the power be limitless. DNA royal, not menaces, know
This
that
show
we
represents the opinions of the host and his guests. The content here should not be taken solely as medical advice. This show is for informational purposes only. Please consult your healthcare provider or professional for additional information and follow-up.
My skin and the joy make them 1% matter. That fact that the matter. Open your eyes when you look at the mirror and see what I see.
What's up, Limitless Move Mountains, Break Barriers family? This is your boy Thomas Davis coming all the way from the DMV to wish you a happy Sunday. Thank you so much for tuning in on this chill, relaxed, not so hot, not so cold weather. And I'm just excited to be on live on a Sunday with you for the next 50 minutes. Again, I'm just excited, y'all. We had an amazing discussion on last time, and we wanted to continue this discussion, but we wanted to just make sure that we make it easier and relevant into what is happening in the world today. Speaking of what's going on in the world today, before I move forward, I do want to take an opportunity to give a moment of silence to all of those who have lost lives through this mass shootings that is going on across the world, all of these shootings, period. So I do want to take a few seconds to just give my prayers and our prayers for those who are suffering from the loss of gun violence. All right, y'all. Our prayers are with everyone that is suffering and going through. But also, I got to shout out our educators, y'all. Our educators are also getting towards the end of the school year. Congratulations, job well done. It has been a very interesting school year, but we made it to the finish line. But I'm giving you guys some time to like and share this broadcast. I'm giving you all some time to get in from the brunches. It is nice. I know people are out. But before we move forward, I do want to say this. Continue to support Move Mountains and Break Barriers. Don't support Thomas. Don't support me. But support Move Mountains and break those barriers. You can also continue to support us by following us on the following platforms. You can follow us on Instagram at Limitless Outcomes. You can also follow us on YouTube, which is Limitless Possibilities LLC. You can also follow us on Facebook, which is Limitless Possibilities. And you can also follow us on LinkedIn, Thomas Davis LPC. And lastly, you can continue to support us on our website, which is highlighted on the banner at the bottom of the screen. I continue my listening audience. Please follow all social media platforms. We have a lot going on with Limitless. We have a lot going on with all of its entities, and I'm so excited to continue to do the work and be one of many here in the DMV that is out here on the grind, on the road, with my sleeves rolled up, doing the work, empowering clients, empowering everyone to continue to move those mountains and break those barriers. But look, I just want to remind us about what we talked about last week. Well, last month. Last month was Mental Health Awareness Month, but mental health awareness is going to be highlighted every month because we cannot get enough of mental health awareness. If we look around within our news, within our tweets, within our Instagram stories or posts, there is something always happening in the world. So we need to not just celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month in May, although it is celebrated in May. We got to continue to bring awareness out within our communities, our cliques, our social networks, everywhere we touch. We need to make sure that we are bringing awareness to light. All right, y'all. Today is going to be a different type of discussion. You will not break down, but you will break through, break out, and break free. If you believe that you're going to break through, break out, and break free, blow up the chat. Let us know that you are going to break out, because this is what this show is designed to be. We want to break out of some things. We want to break out of some bad habits. We want to break out of some bad relationships. We want to break through and come through some trauma, some tough times. We want to break through all that stuff. And lastly, what is it going to be like when we are broken and breaking free? Free. Free. There is nothing like being free, sometimes free from yourself and free from others. All right, y'all. So this evening, I am so excited to have on the show two of my returning guests, and they are dynamic. They are excited. I do got to give them a hand clap in advance for crushing their brunches and social time a little bit early to bring you guys some knowledge, some power, some empowerment, and an opportunity to break free, break through, and break out. But they are no strangers. The first guest is Ms. Shaditra Robinson, and the second guest is Mr. Herman Frazier. But as I always do, we got to start with the ladies first. Let's bring on Ms. Shaditra Robinson.
Since the beginning, they counting this out.
What's up?
Hey, Thomas. How you doing tonight?
Good. How are you doing, young lady?
I can't complain. It's a beautiful day here, as you said, in the DMV.
DMV. How has your week been?
Week has been good. Has been good. I cannot complain. Made a trip to Jersey, made it back, and even work-wise, crushing my goals at work. So
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yo, thank you so much for being on this evening. Again, I know it's a Sunday fun day. Hey. Thank you. That's all I would say. Thank you so much.
Anything.
All right. Are you ready for tonight's discussion?
I am. Thinking about last time, we had a really good discussion. It was packed with a lot of jewels and a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, for us to really, really carry it home, I'm happy to be back on the show again tonight.
You know what? I'm going to throw a little curveball and move mountains and break barriers. Quick question. What are you hoping that it would be an outcome of tonight's broadcast?
Well, definitely, to, as you said before, empower the guests that are watching.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, as we started, it was Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's very important. But as you noted, we'll continue to highlight it every day and every time we are on the show together. But I want to make sure that people know that you can break through, empower to encourage themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, sometimes it can be hard, but it can be very simple things that can encourage you. Just as an example, myself, I think it was just the other day on Instagram, I walk every morning,
mm-hmm.
and I like to beat my time. And
mm-hmm.
so I beat my time, and I was excited. Like, I was encouraging and clapping for myself, and of course some other people may not see that as a big deal, but me, that was a big deal. And that's
right.
what I want people to start understanding. Find joy in yourself, find joy in the things that make you
right.
happy, and
right.
stop, really looking for others, but
right.
finding joy within themselves.
It does not matter when and where you start. Just start.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about, Shadisha. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, y'all. I got to also take this point of personal privilege to bring back to the show Mr. Herman Frazier. Herman Frazier is a dynamic team member of Limitless Possibilities. He provides some individual and group counseling services to individuals within the DMV, and he don't know that I'm going to say this, but just Friday, y'all, I was just doing my routine quality check just to make sure things were going okay. Services were great. And he had a raving review from one of his clients that says he can't go anywhere. I said, So without further ado, let's bring on Mr. Herman Frazier.
Since the beginning, they counting this out. Just check the.
What's up, Herman? I'm sorry, Herm. I forgot.
Go by Herm. What's up, Thomas?
What's up, sir? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Thank you for having me again, man. I had a lot of good feedback from our last show, and I'm just excited to be here for real.
Look, you got my mother watching all the way from Greensboro, North Carolina. Miss Heaven F said, gave me the hand clap. We got people joining in. Yo, please like and share this broadcast. I promise you it's going to touch lives. It's going to touch souls. It's going to touch us. And we're going to have a dynamic conversation. But like I asked Ms. Robinson, I got to ask you, Herm, what are you looking to bring to light tonight? And what are you expecting from this live broadcast?
I mean, personally, I'm a school counselor by day. And as also a therapist, as you stated, and I just want some of the younger people to kind of join. I sent the link out to some of my students, and I just want them to join, and my siblings, my younger siblings, just to get feedback and just so they can see that it's people of color.
yes, Miss Heaven, it's her. It's her.
Just get the stigmas and all that stuff around mental health to kind of start changing. It's 2022, and the fact that those stigmas kind of exist, the self-imposing ones and the ones just from the general public. I just want to, bring it one step closer to closing some of those stigmas. So if we can do that, I can go to sleep feeling good about myself today.
Ooh, okay. Mr. Nickens says, Eugene is here. Hello, Mr. Nickens. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight. We hope that you enjoy it, and we hope that you will be able to take something from this discussion. Yo, welcome everybody, y'all. Welcome. Look, I'm excited. Are y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's get this show rocking. And popping. Yo, I am in a good mood. If you don't notice, I am in a good mood, and I'm going to tell you why at the end. All right, we want to talk about breakthrough. Breakthrough. There is a definition of breakthrough that I really want us to start, and we're going to start the discussion from there. The term and the definition of breakthrough is simply this, y'all: a sudden, dramatic, and important discovery or development. A sudden action, y'all. Something that brings about a lot of excitement, which is the dramatic part. An important discovery or development. And if you notice, it has the word "and" to it. Don't have "but." It don't have "or." So for all of our academic scholars who knows what and "but" and "or" means, and when we use those particular words, we also know that something's going to happen quick. It's going to bring a lot of excitement. And it's going to be important because it's going to develop us. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get started. Shaditra, can you just remind our audience, because we may have some new people on, who you are, something about yourself, and whatever it is that you would like to share?
Sure. I'm Shaditra Robinson, and I am a psychologist. So I've been in the field for over 20 years, ran group homes, worked in group homes, and actually still doing therapy. Professionally, prefer to work with adult women, but I can truly say I've worked with all individuals. And I'm just grateful to have this heart to want to work with the population, to truly be able to give back and, empower and be able to teach others advocating for themselves so that they can continue to go on and, thrive in the community as well. So that's what I enjoy doing. But I also love to travel. Everybody's like, when are you going to be around? I'm like, don't worry about it. Just let me know when you want me to be around. Here's the calendar. But if not, I'm finding something else to do. So
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Thank you so much. Herm, talk to us, brother.
Yes, sir. So for those that don't know, Herman Frazier, aka Herm Frazier. I'm an LGPC, but I've been in the mental health field for about 7 years, going back to about 2015. I've worked in group homes. I worked in community settings, worked in school. I work in schools, and I also currently work in the school as a full-time school counselor at Bishop McNamara High School. I work part-time as a therapist with limitless possibilities, who I love so dearly, no doubt. And as of recently, I have recently transitioned to be the athletic director at Coolidge High School in Northwest DC. So I'm excited about that. As you can tell, like, if you may not know, I love sports. I love the youth/student population. That's my preference, but I've also worked with a large array of demographics from, the elderly to toddlers, but if I have my preference, it's definitely like that school age, middle school, high school background. But that's pretty much why I'm in a nutshell. Follow me on Instagram or, Facebook for those out there.
All right. Thank you, Herm. Thank you, Herm. And one of the things I do want to highlight when he said LGPC, for those who need to know or those who are wondering what are all these letters behind our name, LGPC is that he's a licensed graduate professional counselor. LGPC. Mr. Herm, do you mind also letting the people know your age range? I don't want you to call out your number, but your age range.
I'm on the third floor. I've just got on the third floor.
I just got on the third floor.
Yeah.
So to all of our young people that are watching, seasoned people, middle-aged, baby boomers, Gen X, whatever, millennials, you are looking at what you can also do.
Yeah, no doubt.
Never allow particular obstacles to prevent you from doing what you aspire to do. All right, y'all. Shaditra, I'm going to jump in with you first. Just so that we know, we do have another panelist that is coming on. So she will be joining us shortly. But until then, we're going to start with you, Ms. Robinson. So we've been talking. So last show, we talked a lot about understanding what is the importance of mental health, understanding barriers and mountains and stigmas around mental health. And I just really want to really talk about this, but use it from a lens of what is happening in relevant times, such as we are living in now. So what has been some of the stigmas that you encountered around supporting women around mental health?
Actually, I have been fortunate enough to not run into too many. One thing I always say whenever I am assigned a new client, I always, call them first, talk with them, and I always say, is this what you want? Because I'm not a magician. I am a counselor, and I have to make sure that you're aware that this is for you. You have to be ready for this. You have to be ready to put in the work. I'm here to walk along this journey with you, but you have to want this. And 9 times out of 10, all of the individuals that I've worked with, they're ready. I just try to work with them at where they are, talk to them about the goals, the things, their aspirations. And from there, we just go in and, we make it happen. And I don't try to make it where it's so clinical. Of course, I still keep that, but I want them to understand that there will be a time when I will walk away. Right. I want you to be strong enough to continue on this journey. I'm just here to get you started. And so that's the reason, that I've been fortunate enough to have really good, successful clients.
Ooh, there was a comment and that was in the chat that says, I love the quote, I am not a magician and I'm not magical. Yes, I love that. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, because of course, when individuals, of course, mental health, it's the individual. And, they have to understand that, the first step is for them to understand that they have an issue that they want to address. And so with that being said, our role as clinicians, we are to assist them in the process, but letting them know that I can't fix you overnight. This is going to be a process. And there's not one pill, there's not one diagnosis that is going to be given to you and you'll be, good for life. That's not the case. So that's why I say I am not a magician.
I love that.
Just like when you go to the hair shop, when you go to the hair shop, you tell the hairdresser what you want, but she won't look at that grade of hair. And if it's not what looking like that picture, you may not get what you came in there for.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And that is also key. And that's also what I also would just add on to this. Therapists and counselors, our main job is to expose you and expose one to new ideas, new visions, new thought processes, new behaviors, and new actions. Our job is not to impose our thoughts onto them. Mm-hmm. And so that was a great point. Thank you so much, Ms. Robinson, for sharing that. Herm, talk to us. Same question. Talk to us.
She hit the nail on the coffin, though. She hit the nail on the coffin. I like how you set the tone when you said it, like, I'm not a magician. I also, like, when you said that, what came to my mind, like the stigma around mental health, like, you know, growing up, it's like, so I look at it that you got self-imposed stigmas and then you got like societal / public things, especially from like the older generation. Like, man, ain't nothing wrong with you, man. Just go in there and just go lay down. And you know what I mean? It don't quite work like that. And then you got like the self-imposed ones was like, am I crazy? Like, you don't got to be crazy. You're not crazy to like seek mental health treatment, you know? Like, you can seek treatment for grief, you know? You don't even know. You might have some maladaptive behaviors, you know, and result to regression of drinking, self-sabotaging, whatever you, but you just grieving, you know what I mean? You really just going through some intergenerational trauma that you probably never got over, something like that. Just all of those things, I think, are some of the stigmas that I've, you know, encountered and what I see on a daily basis, professionally and personally. And then just, you know, a lot of other stigmas, you know, negative attitudes, guilt, shame, regret, you know, all of those things. Like, mental health is none of those things, you know. It's a process. You're a human being. And that's what I try to do. I try to humanize the process, sort of like it's a Deidre. I got the clinical component, but my approach, I want to have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not a magician. I don't know all the answers, you know, but we're going to get through this process together. So that's, you know, that's just a little bit of what I got from my experiences.
That is dope. That is dope. And that's what it's all about, is just making it basic. I would say for me as a therapist, one of the things that, and I love working with males, men, young boys, just men, period. Because we as men sometimes feel like that we can't learn something. We as men were taught and raised that we got to deal with it internally. And we don't supposed to expose it outward, because when you begin to share things outwardly, they see you as weak. They begin to say some unkind things. And so I love empowering. Yeah, I love empowering men, and no shame and no shade towards the ladies. But for men, it is hard for us, for some of us, to be in that vulnerable state, to go and sit down and ask someone else for advice. So that's just something that is a passion of mine. It's just letting people know that it's okay to use your voice and speak out.
And that's, and if you don't mind me interjecting, that's why it's so important, you know, for male therapists, and especially in the Black community, to have male Black therapists, because another Black male seeing another individual, you know, ready to assist them and go with them along this journey, that's going to empower them. You know, of course, me as a woman, I've worked with male, you know, adolescent boys before, but of course, I knew once they get to a certain age, they need to start working with a male. You know, they need to have a male therapist. They need to get mentorship from a man, because there's things that I would never be able to explain and help them understand along their journey. So that's why it's very important to have Black male therapists.
Right. Absolutely. And I love that. And I'm going to take a pause because my other teammate has joined us, and I want to bring her into this discussion as well. Move Mountains, Break Barriers family, please welcome Miss Cordelia Cranshaw.
Beginning, they counting this out.
Yo, what's up, Miss Cranshaw, aka Miss Skeet? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me. Excuse me for my tardiness.
It's okay. I got it. We got it. Life happens.
Life happens.
You're here.
Yeah.
You're here, though. You're here.
I'm here. And I heard you guys talking about some good stuff. I don't know what I missed, but one thing I wanted to add was that in our community, mental health and therapy is frowned upon.
And 2022 at that, like it's 2022.
Yes.
It's still got that,
Yes. There was a comment that that is in the chat that I want to highlight. Mr. Nickens said, I used to think mental health was for people that was crazy until I opened myself up to the process.
Mm-hmm.
Sir. And also Miss Heaven said same. Do you not know there are a lot of people like Miss Cranshaw just said? People think that it is a sign of weakness for someone to go and talk to someone. But look, y'all, let's clear the air up tonight. Therapy is not where you sit on someone's couch in 2022. Well, in 2022, I'm going to preface this at the end because there are some people who still do that. But here at Limitless Possibilities, we make the environment safe. We make the environment comfortable. We make the environment nurturing. And we do not look down. We do not frown upon. We don't turn no one away, no matter who you are. And so if anyone is watching us tonight, understand that you are amongst people who want to make mental health normal. And understand that there are people walking around with trauma, walking around with shame, guilt, regret. And those are individuals that we don't go to and say, hey, talk to someone. So thank you for that, y'all. All right, Arsha. Okay.
It's so crazy that like people still live in this world of what happens in this house stays in this house.
Facts.
What they don't realize is that not only is therapy an outlet, but it's an opportunity for you to talk to someone who is outside of your family, looking from the outside in, that's going to challenge you to think through whatever it is you're feeling. And one of the most important things to remember is that it's confidentiality. So we are not here to share or tell whatever it is you're sharing with us unless it has to do with safety, right? So like if you are going to harm yourself or others, that is our duty to protect you and to report. But outside of that, therapy is a safe space.
Yes.
For our community, we have this in the back of our mind, like what happens in this house stays in this house. So we don't really want to talk to people, but I really want us to continue to change that narrative.
I love that. I love that. And shout out to the comments that are in the chat. Shout out to people that are boldly speaking their truth. And that's what we like to hear tonight. And what Mesquite said was also clear. And also it's called confidentiality rights, HIPAA, HIPPA. No one is allowed legally to disclose who is doing what with who. We as therapists, we are not allowed to publicly or anything share who we work with, who we support, who we talk to, unless we are subpoenaed by the judge or by the court systems. And even in that case, I always ask, can we have a consent form? Because we got to protect the rights of the client. Y'all are talking good tonight. All right, y'all. So we've been talking about the breakthrough, the breakout, and the break free. And one of the things that I want to stay here, but I want to go to another area because as we are telling people that it's okay to talk to someone, we also got to understand that connections are important. Being connected with someone when you are having a vulnerable moment, being connected with the right person when you are trying to get that sense of comfort are important. Shaditra, please tell us, why is social, family, personal, professional connections important? Why are all of these different types of connections important?
Because it's the whole person. You know, when you have individuals that are isolating certain sides, then you're really never going to get to know that person in order to help them break through whatever they're dealing with. Because some people may say, oh, I'm just dealing with something at work. Well, what else might be going on? You know, there could be something where their socialization skills could be off a little bit. Then there could also be some isolation in the family. So there's, you can't compartmentalize, your certain areas. You really do want to connect with the clients and have them connect with you in order to truly provide the best results for them to receive. So, when it comes to that, I feel that you can't get the best from someone if they're going to be hiding, particular areas of their life. That's why I really hone in on the word well-being, not just for, one, because you might end up of course, you have your social workers and your counselors in the schools,
Right.
but then you have to make sure that you're asking them, well, what's going on at home? What are you doing in your community? All of those things assist with well-being.
Yes.
And when you talk about the home life, you want to make sure that the parents or the grandparents or the siblings in the home,
Yes.
what could be going on with them, because
Right.
there may be issues that they have, some traumas they have, and then the individual is coming to you to get some counseling, but it's really not them. They're trying to assist someone else, and
Right.
they don't know how to explain what might be going on. So that well-being and looking at the individual in all facets and areas of their life is very important.
Thank you so much. That's good. Talk to us, Miss Cordelia. Talk to us. Why are these connections important?
So I always like to think of the quote, your network is your net worth. And to me, relationships are everything. Relationships not only encourage you and motivate you, but relationships can connect you and guide you in whatever direction that you need to go. It's so important to make sure that the people surrounding you, the people who are there with you through every life challenge, through every barrier you face, that they are encouraging you, supporting you, and motivating you unconditionally. So I always like to remind my clients that your network is your net worth.
All right. I love that. I love that. We can start using that. All right. Talk to us, Herm. Talk to us.
This question, the reason I like and love this question is because I kind of live my life and kind of approach my therapeutic process within that framework. I'm not sure if y'all heard like the seven dimensions of wellness. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all of those things make a person. Like, you might be going to the gym and be physically fit, but your emotional wellness may be. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just say all seven. What is physical, spiritual, emotional, intellectual, financial, social, environmental. Like, when they all are kind of interchangeably, but when one of those things, what I found for me, and then when you start to think about it, when one of those things are off, it can affect the other components of your life. Like, so like the connections, like you said, if this is your job and you in a job that you've been at is toxic, it's getting on your nerves, it's drama filled, like it's going to essentially affect your emotional wellness. Same thing if you not taking care of yourself in terms of eating right, like it's going to affect other parts of you. You know what I mean? So that's, so when I hear that question, like the connections part, that's what I think of, like the 7 dimensions of wellness. Like, everybody needs various components of, like Mr. Dietrich said, like it's the well-roundedness of a person, like, and a lot of people displace, if you ain't in therapy, if you ain't doing, you displace that energy in other areas. So that's what it means for me.
Or to other people.
Or to other people, displacement is a defense mechanism. You taking stuff out on the wrong stuff,
Displacement, projection, transference, all of those tied into one. It's easy to transfer your energy on the wrong person. And that's why, for someone that is watching us tonight, I want to share this bit of advice. Be mindful in 2022 who and what we allow into our personal space. Because sometimes that energy attaches itself to us and it begins to drain us. It begins to make us self-doubt ourselves. It begins to make us question who we are as a person. So we gotta be careful who we allow into our personal space. And sometimes you gotta just say, you know what, you good, and speak at a distance and be okay with that.
Boundaries.
Yep, boundaries.
You gotta have boundaries. Y'all are blowing this chat up. Everything is connected. The hand clap. Yo, thank y'all so much. It's all about being connected and allowing ourselves to be connected to the right person. Spiritually, professionally, socially, as Shaditra said, it designs and identifies the whole person.
Yes, sir.
And I couldn't have said it no better. But y'all, we talk a lot about self-care, right? We talk about how we tell people on the show, breathe, get away, take self trips, go on, just get in your car and just drive. We can't do that for some of us, sometimes myself included. I have a big bus, and that joker, I filled it up yesterday, and it was $96 for gas.
Right.
So with the rise of gas prices, inflations, and everything that is happening in the world, I really want this show tonight to be designed to talk about some breakthroughs and some breakouts. What are some things that we can do to avoid adding on extra stress, extra anxiety, and breaking the bank during this time of inflation? Who wants to start this answer?
Well, I'll go ahead and get started because I've
Let's
been
go.
thinking about it, since the last time we spoke, and understanding that breaking the bank, we don't want to do that. And so, one thing individuals have to understand is what do they really enjoy doing. That's the first thing. You got to sit in your quiet time and say, what do I enjoy doing? So, like with me, I love to travel. So I've learned how to utilize my travel credit card and get points. And, with my points, I then turn them into flights to go somewhere else. I also learned, as I say, a travel hack. I was in Jamaica about a month ago, and a friend of ours that lives there, we wanted them to come on to the resort with us. You can go on to particular resorts or go to particular hotels, and you can pay a day fee and be able to take advantage of their pool or their spa. And it's not as if you have to actually go and stay overnight. So those are just some things. If individuals like spas here in the DMV area, there's what they call a bathhouse. And you can go and get a facial, you can go get a body scrub, just take some time to truly relax. Like, as you can see, those are the type of things that I like. So
nice.
Some things, even I love going hiking. Here in the DMV, there's plenty of parks where you can go and do a trail and, just be and connect with nature, so that's another thing. I love being on the water. So, having the opportunity just to go sit, maybe have a nice lunch, some small things, and you don't even have to go far. I'm just thinking of things here in our DMV area, but those are the things you have to really tap in and say, what do I really enjoy doing? What brings me joy? But then I'm also just shifted to something that doesn't cost any money. As I was telling Thomas today, I went to fellowship with a friend of mine that lives in Virginia. She has 2 children, and just seeing the kids, that brought me joy. Laughing and playing with them that brought me joy, because I was able to not just fellowship with their mother and their father, but to fellowship with them, these 2 new beautiful young ladies, and just being a part of their life and their laughter and their smile, that brought me joy. So I say connect with friends you don't get to see often, even going to brunch, something small.
Right.
Those are the certain things, some small things, just not to break the bank, because you don't want to look at the bank account and say, oh God, gas prices are going up, I don't want to go. You can't live your life like that. You definitely have to get out and still fellowship, and you can do it on a budget.
And you have a witness that says that they love traveling. Gianni Ferguson says, love traveling. I do too. I do too. I can't wait till the last day of school. Miss Penny Davis said, yes, was at a pool party today with the kids. It brought me great joy. And those are some of the small, tangible things that you can do. The pools are free. So those that have recreation centers or pool houses, go into your freezer and pull some hot dogs out. Throw them on the grill. Enjoy yourself. Those are some tangible, small, free things that we can do. Talk to us, Cordelia. Talk to us.
Yeah, and speaking of free things, the museums are free in downtown DC. I cannot tell you how many children and families I work with who live in their communities and have not been outside of their communities, have not been across DC. So take advantage of being, having children that can catch the metro for free with their student IDs. Go to these museums where you can walk around the monuments and really just look at nature, look at the buildings, just get out and go for a walk. and then step into a museum and be able to enjoy that fresh air. Get creative with your summers, with trying to get out there and spend family time together that you guys mentioned, but also just traveling across the city. DC has so much to offer. You do not have to spend a lot of money just exploring the city and seeing all that it has to offer. Get out of your community and just go out there and explore. Don't expect to have to do things that cost you, a pretty penny. Get out there and be creative and just, enjoy some family time and take a walk.
Yep.
Ooh, you just said something at the end that we're going to make a quote out of this. In life, we got to learn how to start exploring versus expecting. Because when we expect something, we expect to see this one particular thing happen.
Yeah.
But when we begin to explore some things, we allow opportunities to come before us.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I see you, Miss Cordelia.
Yes.
I see you. Talk to us, Herb. Talk to us, sir.
So what I would say, I would definitely kind of echo and piggyback off what some of the things that they said. Like, I've always been the person, I grew up in humble beginnings. I'm an outside person. Like my girl will tell you, like my shit, like I do not like being in the house. Like, and we like it's getting nice outside. Like a day like today, I'm not about to be in the house. Like I'm outside, But they say, like, you ever see the hashtag "We Outside"? That's me, And I like get outside. You go to the parks, and not just the pool's free. Your recreations are free. Like you'll be surprised at the little things they got in there from all ages, from toddlers to senior citizens to 30 and over basketball leagues. And I'm a sports dude, so I love sports. There's nothing for me to get in the car with my boy CJ. We might go to Hampton, Virginia, just to watch some kids that we coached back in the day or something like that. Like that. They playing in Boo Williams down in Hampton or Newport News. You trying to go? Cool. So and then that social connection. I'm glad, Mr. Dietrich, you said what you said too. That's why going back to the wellness piece, like the people you interact with, you just gave me some hacks that I'm about to just add to my bag. Like what I mean, stuff like that. Things like that make a big difference, just getting out, getting free stuff. Like, growing up, we used to just sit on the porch sometimes. You'd be surprised at the fun you can have just sitting on your porch. It sounds cliche, but get out there and be around funny people, entertaining people with good energy.
Right.
That's what I do too. Like that don't take a lot of good time for that. You can order a pizza and just be around that positive energy and be as fulfilled as you going somewhere spending thousands of dollars. For me,
yes.
I did. I had one last thing. Also, as Cordelia was mentioning as well, in your own community, there are a lot of course, this is summertime, so looking into Prince George's County's recreation. I know like Juneteenth is coming up. That's a free activity over at Watkins Park. Even today, they're having free music at Fairwood, so if you want to get out, hear some music. And of course, I can't say I'm a little older, but I just love all types of music. But Thursday over there at the MGM, there's music there too. So, there's just a lot of different things. You just have to truly tap into what you like to do because it's out there. It's free.
Shout out to Miss Deidre. Shout out to Mr. Nickens, and definitely shout out to Mr. Marty Martinez Sellers. He's watching y'all all the way from the West Coast. Shout out to Marty. He has a dynamic panel, and if you ever want to check him out. He is doing phenomenal things on the West Coast, and he actually have me sitting on a panel coming up in June at the end of this month around men's health. And so we're going to be having this discussion definitely here. I'm excited. What's up, Daryl? Mac for the back. He was the producer. He is a producer. He does all of this stuff. Y'all, this is what it's about, y'all. Supporting each other. Although I'm giving them shout outs, if I'm transparent, those individuals support me as I continue to support my team. I am not who I am without people that are connected with me with positive energy, y'all. Tonight's theme, hashtag we out here, hashtag breakthrough, hashtag positive energy. But yo, we at 7:44. So I want to combine 3 questions together, y'all. And it's a loaded question. Loaded, y'all. We know there's a lot of unrest happening. We don't told the people tonight that it is important for us to have a therapist. We done also told individuals that mental health is key. We just talked about, y'all, going outside, hashtag we out here. We don't talked about all of this, right?
Mhm.
I want to be honest.
Yep.
But how in the world can we expect us to go out here when we got people shooting up everything? You can't go to the grocery store. You can't go to a musical concert here in Philly. Last weekend, they had the Roots concert, and they shot up on South Street. You can't go to a peace rally on gun violence yesterday in D.C., and someone yelled out gunshots and had everybody running across the National Mall.
Oh, no.
On top of that, y'all with me? On top of that, we got monkeypox, increase in COVID cases, racism, you name it, it's happening in 2022. So how can we tell all of our listening audience tonight about all these great things that we are doing and still feel safe? I'm going to start with Cordelia. It's a loaded question, so I'm going to sit back and listen.
Yeah, very, very much loaded. And to be honest with you, there is not a particular answer. There's no right answer.
None.
You know, for me, just being human and living through these times, just as my clients, just as, you know, my peers and my colleagues, what kind of focuses me in and allows me to keep my eye on the prize is, you know, remembering that everything happens for a reason.
Right.
That's one of the biggest things that I always remind myself when I've hit a bump in the road or things seem to be a little bit more challenging and on a particular day, you know, rather than the day before. But that is a loaded question, and it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Really difficult to be in an environment where you're having to look to your left and look to your right a little bit more than you usually do. You know,
Right.
I was visiting with a client the other day, and, you know, I said, let's go take a walk. But then I started to second guess myself because I'm like, okay, there are, like you said, there are these people who are yelling out these things that are not necessarily true, but
Right.
reality where, you know, I remember something that just really sits with me is that mother and that child where that mother got shot and she wasn't the target in front of her son. I have an 8-month-old, and if just, you know, stopping by to pick up ice on the way to the birthday party, I have to be on swivel. I gotta, you know, peep my surroundings, and that is everyday life for people. That's everyday life.
Right.
So my encouragement to them is to remember that everything happens for a reason, but also to live in the moment, to love people that you care about, to forgive, right? Forgiveness is a really big thing in our community. We often hold on to a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, anger, bitterness, right? Frustration. So the biggest thing for me is to forgive the people that you really love and care about, and to remember that forgiveness is for you. It's not for anybody else. It's for your own healing, your own ability to take that weight off your shoulders and be able to make the necessary decisions that are best for you to create those necessary boundaries.
Right.
Forgiveness isn't forgetting what has happened to you, but it's allowing you to have that clear mind and heart to make the necessary decisions that are best for you.
I love that. I love that. And thank you so much. One thing I do want to do is make sure that, because we are live, and I want to make sure that I'm clear in my information. The shooting that took place in Philly was not at the Roots concert. It was on South Street, which is away from the actual concert. But I do know that it was in Philadelphia. So I do want to make sure that I clear that up, because as a man of integrity, we got to clear things up. I was just excited about the question, and I was just trying to put everything in there, but we all make mistakes. So a part of making a mistake is being transparent to make sure that we are clear in our messaging. So just want to do a quick shameless plug. Talk to us, Herman. I'm going to switch it up a little bit.
Okay. So for me, when I see this question, right, the word boundaries come to my mind. the word boundaries come to mind. And what I mean by that is I think everyone should remember their boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
First, and if you don't have some, you need to establish some. And when you
Right.
establish them, you need to maintain them.
Right.
I'm not sure if y'all familiar with the book. It's right here, not the endorser book, but Set Boundaries, Find Peace. It's a New York Times bestseller. She was on the Breakfast Club, et cetera, et cetera. She a therapist too. Miss Nidra, Tawwab. Have y'all heard about that book? Have y'all heard of it? Like Set Boundaries, Find Peace. But it's really dope in my estimation, and it talks about like the 6 type of boundaries. Sexual boundaries, time boundaries, material boundaries, emotional boundaries, intellectual boundaries, and physical boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things, we experience it on a daily basis, whether we go to the grocery store, whether we at a concert, whether we even in a parking space, like, it's like, bro, back up, sometimes, or you too close, or that was about to park there.
Mm-hmm.
Just all of those things come to mind when I talk about, when I think of boundaries, and I think of the unrest in our society and our communities. And I think if people establish and maintain boundaries and respect people's boundaries, I want to end it with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like respect people's boundaries. If I know this person don't like that, or me talking loud, I'm a loud person, I'm talking loud, like, all right, let me go ahead and be mindful.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just stuff like that, maintaining boundaries, establishing boundaries, maintaining them, and respecting other people's boundaries. And I think, and I'm hopeful that us as a society can break through.
Gotcha. Martina Sellers said that he's read that book and he used it all the time. So there are viewers out here who are aware. And Miss Tanya Morgan texted me on my phone and says, I read that book. It is so good. Thank you, Mr. Morgan, for texting me.
No doubt.
Shaditra. We are all here on screen in the DMV. Mm-hmm. We see unrest all the time. We see a lot of people just overwhelmed, mad. How can you help someone tonight? Talk to us.
Well, definitely, I agree with Herm when he talked about boundaries, but I really believe that it's about being mindful and not internalizing everything that's going on. Like I can truly say for myself, I don't watch the news. Of course, it will come across on my cell phone, or if I'm listening on the radio for the news in the morning. But I remember early in life, of course, as an adult, I would watch the news in the morning before I would go. And, you're just taking in all of the repeating, actions that someone else has done. And it just started weighing on me. So I then stopped watching the news. Like, I don't want to hear it, not that I want to be a hermit and put my head in the sand and not understand that there is the world and things are going on out there. But I set boundaries for myself so that I'm not internalizing everything that's going on. So the main, objective I want to put out there is be mindful, be aware of your surroundings. I don't want anyone to stop living their life, definitely get out, but be mindful of where you're going. Be mindful of the people that you're going to be around. You want to make sure that you remain safe, because you really have to look out for yourself, and make sure of that. And, even what Cordelia said, this is such a loaded question. So much is going on. It's so compact. There's really no real answer. But in my opinion, I would definitely say be mindful and don't internalize everything that's going on. Definitely try to find other ways to not take on everybody's problems or the things that you're seeing or hearing, but to definitely say, okay, I will do better so that I don't, go down that same type of path. So, because like you said, I'll tell anybody, I want to be out and, I want to continue to go out and enjoy myself, but I make sure that the places I'm going, that I'm not going to, I really don't want to put myself in harm's danger. But look at, people in the grocery store, our young children going to school, those are the things they knew that they wanted to do. They wanted to go to school. People knew they wanted to go to the grocery store so that they could feed their families, but they didn't, I'm pretty sure when they went into the stores, went to school, they did not that something would happen to them in those environments. But we just have to make sure that we're always aware and keeping our head on a swivel. You shouldn't have to, but it's necessary at this point.
I love that. I want to say this. The question is a loaded question. And there is no right or no wrong answer to this particular question, as long as it's positive. One thing I want to share with our audience tonight is one word. Can you post that question up again, Ms. Jasmine, please? The question is, continued unrest, how can one feel comfortable going out and feeling safe? I want to say this one word: live.
Facts.
Live. Because no matter what you could do, where you try to go, you can't control what's going to happen. All you can do is to control yourself, how you present yourself, how you go out in the community, but you still got to live your life. Live your life. Don't operate in fear. Don't operate that something's going to happen to you. Just live and be mindful and set boundaries, as everyone has stated. Do those things, but still live. Because when we get nervous, then we become anxious and our anxiety goes up. But there's a photo that's going to come back up on the screen, and I want you guys to tell us how we are going to get a breakthrough. And I want us to talk about what we're going to do to get to the end of this show. And I cannot believe it's almost an hour. But can that photo please come up again, please? You would not, listening audience, move mountains and break barriers, family. You would not break down. But you will break through, break out, and break free. To my listening audience, you will not break down. But you will break through, break out, and break free. Cordelia, talk to us and tell us some ways that we can break out, break through, and break free.
I would say live in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Understand what you can control and what you can't control, and really just focus on the things that you can control, your thoughts. That's one of the biggest things that I always share with my clients and the children and families that I work with, is that you have total control over those thoughts. So if you are feeling a negative thought, if you are feeling a defeating thought, try to change that thought into something positive, and just really reflect on, when you start to shift that mindset, how it makes you feel. So live in the moment and focus on turning your negative thoughts into positive thoughts.
Love it. Thank you, Miss Cordelia. Follow her on all her social media platforms. Shadidra, talk to us.
I would say take the mask off. Don't live with the mask on. Live in color, live in your truth. And, no matter how hard it may be, live in it. Of course, there's so many things, so many different dynamics that we are dealing with nowadays, but it's no need for you to live and be hidden. Take the mask off and enjoy what life is bringing, because it is for a reason. There is a purpose for you to be here, and, deal with what is going on so that your test can be a testimony.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Herm, talk to us.
Sort of what both of them said, and I love what she just said. I would phrase it as be yourself. Like, I think I've got to where I got to this point in my life just by being myself, even when I was insecure about parts of myself. Be yourself and be mindful and connect positively. Like, be in spaces where you receive in positive elements. If you somewhere where it brings out the worst in you, don't go there. Don't be around them people. Don't be around that type of environment. I don't care if it's a job. I don't care if it's the institution you bank with. If it's something that you don't like, get rid of it. And I feel like with that said, it can start the process of a breakthrough.
Thank you so much. Thomas Barr about to come up real quick, so let's jump right into it. Chicka. Yo, what's up? We had a dynamic discussion tonight. I want to thank Miss Cranshaw. I want to thank Miss Robinson. I want to thank Mr. Herm for being on the show tonight. It was amazing. It was phenomenal. But I want to just take this particular bar to let you know what is happening in the month of June. We are serious about bringing mental health awareness to light. We are serious about supporting you here at Limitless Possibilities and all of its entities. So check this out. On Sunday, June the 24th at 7 p.m. June 26th. Sorry, Sunday, June 26th at 7 p.m. We're going to have a unfiltered conversation with the men. Men's health is celebrated here in June. We are celebrating Pride Month. We also celebrating Men's Health Month. So on June 26th at 7 p.m., we're going to have a conversation that is going to be geared towards adults. So I just want to make sure that I put it out there in advance. We're going to be talking about, the theme is man up, not man down, but man up. We're going to be talking about what does it mean to focus in the areas of physical health in men, spiritual health in men, educational health in men, professional, emotionally, and sexually. Oh, we don't want to talk about some of those things, but we are going to help you out on Sunday, June the 26th, because it is important for us as men to be here. Herm going to be on the show. I just told him in the back. So we all going to be there, and we're going to have a dynamic panel of men. But before I go, make your mental health a priority. Make your mental space a priority. Love on yourself. Continue to be who you are. Understand that you don't have to get everything done all in one day. But remember this, that you, me, we have an opportunity to be better than the day before. This is your boy Thomas Davis coming all the way from the DMV, wishing you a happy week. To my educators, we are out of here in the DMV for the summer break. And remember, I love you. Continue to follow us. Continue to support us. And if you want to be a sponsor, some information is going to come on the outro as we close this show of Move Mountains and Break Barriers. Take care.
All the power that lies within thee. Black kings and queens who we will and shall be. Know that we bleed and breathe royalty. Love with the loyalty glow got me loving myself. Black skin my cover is hugging myself. Live for the mental and spiritual, but remember we limitless. DNA royal, not menaces. Know that we limitless. Brothers and sisters in arms, love the power be limitless. DNA royal, not menaces. Know that we limitless. Brothers and sisters in arms, let the power be